I just completed this interview with the legendary Singeetam Srinivasa Rao, and we are actually sitting in the same room with all the awards that he's won around us. So he mentioned that he had this idea for a musical, like an entirely sung movie.
Yeah.
And he took it to various producers, and they were interested in the project, but they weren't kind of coming up to produce it.
Yeah.
And then he met you, and then everything clicked into place. So when you heard what he had to pitch,
Yeah.
what was it like?
I mean, just to go back in time, this room is where I first met Sir for the research of Mahanati.
Okay.
So when I wanted to come and ask Sir how it was like working with Savitri Garu or all of that. So this was the first time I ever met Singeetam Srinivasa Rao, and I grew up loving, and I think Aditya 369 was one of those movies that affected me a lot.
It's a very iconic film.
Yeah, as a kid, and just that time machine actually like rotating like a physical prop that rotates with this. So that definitely was a big creative inspiration for me. And meeting this man here for the first time, I was like, wow, sir, this is so great. Like Maya Bazaar, and how was it like with Savitri Garu? Those days were so good. And one of the first things I remember is like, no, those days were okay. The now is only good. Now is better. Now is so much better. So that was one of my first interactions with him. And after Mahanati, I think he told us the idea, me, Priyanka and Swapna, he told us the idea, this is what I want to make. Would you guys be interested in doing this movie? He told us this idea of the musical. At that point, I think we were asking, if there are any other scripts also, let's see. And then we forgot about it, and life went on, whatever. And then
This was roughly when Kalki had happened?
No, this was post Mahanati.
Post Mahanati.
So I'd say about 2018-19, just before Kalki. That's when he'd come to Hyderabad to meet us.
Right.
And actually at that point I wanted to do a sequel of Aditya 369, so I was trying to meet him also. But yeah, he met us, he pitched this story, and then after that time went on. And I realized somewhere halfway through Kalki that he was still trying to make this movie. Like it was like 5 or 6 years since he told us, and he was still trying to make this story, pitching it to multiple actors, multiple producers. And then later I found out that he pitched this story to people like even before Pushpak, and like it's been something that's been of a dream project for him for the past 30-40 years. And I think just after Kalki, when I realized that, all of these, the dynamics of putting a project together, whether it's like an actor agreeing, production, and this wasn't a simple film. It was not like for example, Pushpak happens in a hotel and another house, so it's comparatively easier to put together. This one has like a massive mining village, and like there's underground mines, and there's a lot of VFX also. So it was a challenge. It's an ambitious film, so it's a tricky one to put together. So we realized at some point that if we don't do this, this is not going to get made. And for somebody like Singeetam sir, who has inspired generations of filmmakers, if not audience, we thought like, let's do this. Like, why are we questioning him? He's the master. Let's just do this. And we started, and we didn't know how the process would be, but we just said, let's jump in and let's make it happen.
So you guys